Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Squared Circle Maniacs podcast. I am the neckbeard psychologist, Don Wayne. Johnny Bottles will be joining us momentarily. Want to get the show started off right tonight. He's got some problems down south. They're having a big thunderstorm come ripping through. Power blink, but he should be here shortly. Look forward to talking about last night's AEW nonsense that went down last night. I don't know how many of you saw it. I don't really know what your thoughts are. Thank you for joining me tonight. Like I said, Bottles will be here soon. Please hit that like and subscribe. I see our room has grown some. I'm glad to see you all here tonight. Glad everybody's having a good week so far. Weekend is right around the corner. I can't wait to share a cocktail or two with you guys and gals tonight and talk about this week's wrestling since we last did our show. I don't know how else to put it, but the AEW diehards are having a hard time with reality right now. And I just want to start off by saying that last year they sold, well, allegedly they sold 81,000 tickets. Now, it's not a publicly traded company. We don't really know what they sold. And they reportedly distributed around, I want to say they distributed around 84,000 tickets. Now, the Turnstile said they had 72,000 people come through the actual gate, right? So there's a big discrepancy there. If you distributed 84,000 tickets and only 72,000 came through, that means 16% of your audience didn't show up for the show. Now, I'm not a genius and I'm not a mathematician, but I do know this much. The likelihood of 16% of an audience that got tickets to an event, woke up that morning and then said, you know what, the hell with it, I'm not going. I can't buy that. I could even buy that a certain percentage of these diehards bought tickets to this show just so that they could say they helped out a billionaire, which when you think about it, you know, I like wrestling as much as the next person, right? But I'm not going to buy tickets to a show that I'm not going to attend. Welcome back, Johnny Bottles. I told him that you had Hurricane Katrina coming out on you. Welcome to the show.
Not good, Don.
Is here, the Hot Pockets connoisseur himself, the lover of all things Totino's pizza rolls. He has gone to the Walmart brand. He says they're better. We shall test that theory this weekend.
Oh, you're going to buy some?
I'm going to get some. I'll test them out. I was telling him about the diehards in AEW having a hard time dealing with reality, and they don't seem to understand the ways that promoters speak in carny. Right? Vince McMahon always hyperinflated his attendance numbers. Tony Khan's no different. He hyperinflated how many people were at WrestleMania 3. It wasn't 90 or 70-something thousand. They said it was probably closer to 50,000, something like that. Things of those natures, right? So last year it was 84,000 tickets distributed. I believe 72,000 actually hit the Turnstile. That's a 16% difference. Like I said, I just don't buy it. We were talking about this earlier this week. Bottles, you there? Or did you freeze up on me, pal? I think we lost Bottles again, so I'm going to keep going. But Bottles and I were talking about this earlier this week. And they were at 41,000 or 43,000 for the longest time. Like, it was at that number for the longest time. I'm not sure how much you guys and gals keep up with it, but I sort of watch the WrestleTix guy. He's got a really good account. If you don't follow him on Twitter, he's a really good follow if you want to see where everybody's at as far as tickets and distribution and what's going on in the world of professional wrestling. Really good account to follow. And it stuck there, like I said, 43,000 until the last couple, 2 or 3 weeks. And suddenly in the past 3 weeks, they sold another allegedly 7,000 to 8,000, 9,000 more tickets. Now let's play conspiracy theorist for a minute, right? Let's say you're a billionaire son and your ticket sales aren't hitting what you were hoping they would do earlier in the year. And you've got a lot of money hanging around and you want to make this event look great. Wouldn't you think maybe, possibility, you would go ahead and buy some of those tickets yourself and give them to some people that you might know to give them out to friends and family in the area? What do you guys think about that? That's just sort of my thought, that that much of a boom in ticket sale in today's day and age, the walk-up purchase and the last-minute shoppers, they don't really exist until you get around Christmas, if you ask me. If there's an event coming that I know I want to go to, I'm going to buy the tickets well in advance because I want to get a good seat. Even if it's going to be a cheap seat up at the top, I'm going to make sure I get it as early as possible to get the best advantage point I could possibly get. That's just my thoughts on this. I wouldn't wait until the last second to do something like that. We're going to talk a little about the AEW conundrum, like I said, from last night's show. The fallout from that was... I've got a way I want to put it. I hope my buddy shows back up. Bottles is having some problems, like I said. The weather is not cooperating in his neck of the woods. He's having a hard time. I don't know. I really want to like this product. And last night, I'm going to tell you guys for the first time in a long time, I just turned it off after about halfway and said, I'll watch this later. I'll catch back up. I'll watch it today. I'll take my notes. I'll do what I got to do. It's the dreck right now. There's nothing. They're trying to tell storylines, but the best way that I can put it is that it's coming from a 7th grade mentality. It's someone that didn't have friends when they were in high school and middle school, and now they're trying to, I don't know, live out their childhood fantasies by booking a wrestling program. So we'll see. Johnny Bottles with the run-in back in. Having all kinds of problems.
ADM, it's a twister. It's a twister.
God almighty. You are having some shit there, pal. So I just ran through the numbers real quick and gave a quick overview last night. Like I talked to you last night, I couldn't watch anymore. I had to turn it off. It got so bad. We haven't begun talking about the AEW show, Bottles, but given your weather predicament.
You haven't shit on anything of substance.
Dude. Well, I've been shitting on the numbers, and I mentioned to the people here, thank you again for tuning in. Please like and subscribe if you have not. We are just wrestling fans. We enjoy watching the shows and talking about it. Hit the notifications button so you know when we go live. Maybe Bottles will suddenly not have a thunderstorm and he'll go live. We'll see.
Give us a ring-a-ling.
Do you want to talk about this show? That's what I said. Hit the notifications button, pal.
Yeah, I like ring-a-ling with a ding-a-ling better, pal. We gotta get shirts made up that say that.
By the way, check out the store if you haven't. We got some cool products there. I'm wearing my awesome Squared Circle Maniacs shirt. They're good quality merchandise. Bottles, I was telling them, you and I had a theory that maybe Tony Khan got a little upset when he saw that 41,000 ticket sales wasn't going up. And maybe he bought some. Maybe he bought quite a few. We sort of had that idea last year.
If they own a stake in Wembley Stadium, if they're business partners with Wembley, well, I'm sure they are. Their football teams are based in Great Britain, both of them. So of course they're going to be in cahoots with Wembley. They'll sell him seats at a discounted rate, and he'll pay seat fillers $50 a head just to go in and fill those seats up. If he's given Mercedes Moné the
$4 million,
just a fantastic actress, Mercedes Moné. She's a natural. She's a natural on camera. If they're paying her $3.5 million a year, they could pay $50 times what, Don? 12,000, 10,000. Yeah. That's a drop in a bucket for Tony Khan, who's a billionaire with his dad's money. That's what they'll do.
Gil's on this. Gil sort of thinks. Thanks again, Gil, for the $1.99 super chat. Super chat is open. Thanks, Gil. Swerve mentioned 50,000. Gil's also convinced Tony bought these tickets.
Of course he did. In just a few days, 10,000 seats, 12,000 seats fly off the interwebs into people's pockets. Come on now.
I can hear that thunderstorm rolling in your background. By
it is rocking, dude. When I was waiting for the internet to come back on, the lightning was just crack-a-lacking right outside my window. I'm thinking, hit me now, put me out of my misery.
Lord, take me now. I got to do a show.
Kill me now. Not another AEW Dynamite again. Kill me now. No more Grove. No more CEO.
We appreciate the hell out of it, Gil. Thank you so much, pal.
I'm riding the lightning, Don.
I got some white lighting in the freezer. Let's talk about AEW show last night.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to get into how they started off. Yeah, I did take this note. The Big Bang rerun was a bad episode, And I was curious if this was going to affect their rating coming into this, because this was such a bad show. You've got the quarter hours over there. I don't know if you have them pulled up or not, but I just want to read it without. I just want to know what the show led off with. What was the first quarter hour?
840,000, Don. 840.
And the thunder rolled.
And the thunder rose.
840,000 people started this show. And the cat's out of the bag, so we'll just say it. It ended on an average of 698. If it ended on an average of 698 and it started off with 840 what?
840,000 viewers.
That's
carried over from the Big Bang Theory.
That's 142,000 people that said, I've seen enough of this shit. I'm out of here.
That's people who went to the microwave, they let the dogs out, they took a quick squirt, made themselves another cocktail, and when they got back to the couch, they said, I ain't watching this, Gunsmoke's on. And they put on MeTV. Beverly Hillbillies is on somewhere, I'm going to watch that.
Where's the A-Team at? Is that on MeTV or the other channel? I got to find it.
They've got it selected times on MeTV.
Yeah, it's on a couple of different one of those. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'd see it. Anyway, I just want to get back to this now. I just want to mention that because the first quarter hour was 840,000. That's a pretty good lead-in to end up at 698. That means this thing fell off a cliff somewhere. Back to it. Out comes Mercedes Moné.
Yes.
And, well, Britt Baker, I guess, came out first, correct? I don't even give a shit.
Britt came out first and talked to Shivani. She said a couple of sides off microphone to Shivani. I was trying to pick it up. And when the CEO music started, I saw Camille come out with the CEO. And, Camille looked great. Jacked
let's talk,
to the gills.
Let's talk about that real quick. So Camille last week on Wednesday night backed off of Britt Baker when she tried to hit her with a kendo stick outside of the ring. Took all the heat off of Camille right away. She's no longer a badass. Now she's a cowering heel and standing there looking as built as she is. She's a big built girl. She's got a good look about her. She's got a nice face. She looks like she could work the part of not quite a Chyna, but she's, you know what I'm saying? Like that bruiser for a woman on that level. She's not quite,
she's a diesel.
At that level. Yes.
A diesel to Mercedes Moné's female Shawn Michaels.
The outcry.
If you will.
Yes. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving her that much credit. That's not happening. They did like I said, they did the kendo spot. It got shit on everywhere by people online. I mean, the Twitter universe was just like, let me get this straight. She backed off the heel. The big menacing heel backed off of Britt Baker instead of taking that kendo stick out of her hand when she swung it and sticking it up her ass. Tony Khan, I'm telling you, he reads all this shit. Saturday or Friday night show, same spot, gets a kendo stick. She swings it and she grabs it. So he clearly realized we screwed the pooch up here. Let's fix this. It's too late. Your Wednesday show is the one that gets your most views. You can't go back and do it that way. It doesn't work like that. You can't put the genie back in the bottle once you've exposed her as a cheap Chyna doll. Doesn't work.
Right. She went for the money, and it may ruin her career for the next year or two. You never know.
And with a look like that, it just makes me wonder, why wouldn't she go to NXT and learn
I told you this.
There.
I told you this. Do you want to know?
Sure. What's your theory?
My theory is Charlotte Flair used to be married to Camille's current husband, Thomas Latimer. If you recall, years ago, there was a fight in a bar when Charlotte Flair and her husband, Thomas Latimer, took Rick out drinking. And they were at a bar, they ate, had some dinner and drinks, and the drinks spilled over into the wee hours, and they got into a fight, and police were called. And Flair got a black eye. I think he gigged himself. He always carries a little blade with him. I think he gigged himself. His ex-wife, one of his ex-wives called, and claimed battery on Rick because he pushed her. And he went in the bathroom and cut his forehead and told the cops, look what she did to me. Look what she did to me. And he got off. The guy's a genius when it comes to that shit. But
Gil says...
Go ahead.
Gil says Camille is no big Bubba Rogers. No, she is not. Not
No,
anymore.
she's not.
They took the heater right off of her, and this whole angle last night did not help anybody. This
Right.
didn't help anybody last night.
But anyway, as I was saying, Camille's married to Thomas Latimer, Charlotte Flair's ex-husband, and I don't think she wants to be around in that environment working hand in hand with Charlotte, because they're going to put those two together in a match. And I don't know what kind of working relationship they had. Obviously, there was bad blood, but they've moved on with different partners. She's married to Andrade. Camille's married to Latimer. And if they could coexist, I think it would be great, but maybe Camille was afraid. That's the only thing I could think of. Because she would go to NXT, Don, for a month or two and then go right up to the main roster. She can wrestle.
I kept taking notes if you want to hear them. This is what I put
Please.
down. Dude, Mercedes
Boo-boo
is
face.
so cringe on the microphone.
Horrible.
It's unbearable to listen to her anymore talk on the mic. It's just unbearable. Everything she said was just drawn out, and
Well, dude, I thought about this, and you know who
Okay.
she's. You know who. It seems like she's a pale imitation of a female rapper,
go ahead.
Cardi B.
Maybe I could see that.
She reminds me of Cardi B.
She's the Big Lots
So-
version.
The big.
She's Big Lots Cardi B. I
She's the
can see
Family
it.
Dollar version of Cardi B.
Britt Baker's lines last night were contrived, and I think they were pre-written, and they were garbage. She mentioned the 4 horsewomen. She said that she had the balls to do this. And she, in the middle of this, and I don't know if you noticed this or not, this is what I want to talk about because this is how I sort of came out of this.
Sure.
She had boo-boo face to me. She had boo-boo face.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She delivered those lines like she hated Mercedes Moné for real.
But it wasn't like she hated her for real. She said it like, I'm going to have to do a job to this bitch, and I'm hating every minute of this right now. I'm hating life right now. I'm going to come out here and say this, and I'm going to say what I got to say because they're going to pay me for it. But I swear she had job face. She is not happy about this outcome. I will be absolutely shocked beyond belief if Mercedes loses this match now after seeing this shit go down.
Do you think Baker would come back from a long sabbatical, almost a year off, with injury and a stroke, and job on her first pay-per-view match back, her first real match, and her first big feud back? You think she would do the job? I think there's going to be shenanigans involved. I really do.
Might be worth watching it just because of that shit. This might turn into a shoot.
That would never be worth watching.
Okay, you got me
from
there.
that aspect on, from that point of view, yes, I like to see them shoot on each other during this match. I think someone will. I think somebody's going to be bleeding the hard way during this
Without it.
match. Yes.
I just want
Yes.
to sum this up at the end. Britt Baker says, you came here for the money. I used to respect you. I looked up to you. I need you to talk me off the ledge. Aren't these chicks the same age, roughly? There's not like a 20-year difference in age gap. She looked up to her? Are you shitting me? This isn't Dusty getting turned on by Lex Luger or some shit. They're the same generation. What are we talking about here? This is what I said. This is middle school grade bullshit drama play. This is the after school special is what this was. I used to look up to you, but you came in here and you're just all about the money.
It's a bad
miserable.
CW show. It's a shitty CW show. If you watch Riverdale, just inject professional wrestling into the TV show Riverdale, and this is what you got. Donna, have you ever gotten an ice cream headache from listening to two women talk? That's all I can say.
And then it gets worse because then she decides she says, I can't hit Britt. So you knew where this was going immediately. Where she then goes to slam Camille's head down. Camille's head was this far from the table when she hit her hands. Her face wasn't even remotely near the damn thing.
No.
Terrible. She falls
Then she
back
fell
over.
backwards into Mercedes Moné's lap.
And then here came Britt Baker, dives on him. The chair doesn't go over. Total shit, just a shit show way to open this. Did this go the full 15 minutes, or did the Jericho segment interrupt it? That's sort of my question on the quarter hours.
I think it went the full 15, Don, from the way it looks.
Okay.
A little hard to tell, but I think it went the full 15. And then I went right into, when this bit was over, it went into the backstage promo with Jericho.
And that's what I'm asking you, because
was there a commercial break?
I think it went straight to Jericho. I think it went straight to Jericho. But that's why I'm asking. The next quarter, because I feel like this ran through the whole quarter, what was Jericho's number at the end of his segment, I guess?
734,000 during his segment. And then it dropped down in that 15 minutes time.
So 106,000 people said, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Where's Sheldon?
How long did his segment run? I guess that's what I'm asking you. When does he leave my screen? Does he run to the bottom of the 7:30 hour?
It's not too clear in what they give you here from WrestleNomics. But I would assume the 15-minute segment ran to the bottom. And when I say ran to the bottom, it drove everything down at the 8:30 mark to 683,000 people.
197 people said, I don't need this shit no more. I'm sorry, not 197, 147,000. 157,000. My math.
They all tapped out, Don. They all tapped out. It was ugly. It wasn't pretty.
Damn, dude. So between the opening act and the Jericho skit, this thing went to shit. My math is all over the place. You said how many again? Because I got to get this shit.
Okay, the whole show started at 840,000.
Yeah, I got that, but what's the bottom of the hour?
What? It went bottom at what? At 8:30?
Was 697, right?
No, 683 at 8:30.
Sorry. Jesus, I'm giving too much credit. 157,000, I was right. Bailed.
Yes.
Got the hell out of here. So we're not going to do any more math, ladies and gentlemen. I'll use my calculator. I'm not the greatest at it off the top of my head. When I'm having a beverage, talking this shit and doing this. Jericho's going to face Tommy Billington, the local legend.
Tommy Billington, who doesn't look anything like the Dynamite. Well, I saw pictures of him backstage, and he sort of looks like the Dynamite Kid, like a blood relative. I don't know if he is or not. I would assume so. But he's missing a crucial element, Don.
Wrestling skills?
No, he's missing a crucial element. About a quart of Diana ball shoved into his veins. That's missing.
True. And by the way, if you were a Dynamite Kid fan, I get it in the ring, but that guy was about the biggest piece of shit outside the ring you could ever read about.
He was.
Dude held his wife at bay with a shotgun, wouldn't let her leave the house. There's a whole thing on Dynamite Kid. I want to say it was on Dark Side of the Ring. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest it. That guy was not a good person. This match is what I took down. And I don't know what you thought about it. The outside interference was going to happen. Low Plains Drifter got involved. The big moron got involved. I said, and this is what I wrote down. I have no interest in this match at all, and I can't stand Jericho to boot. This is a terrible idea to have this after the opening segment. Apparently, I was right. If it dropped down that low.
Hulk came out and got his ass kicked. All four people in this, if you count the new Dynamite Kid, all five people in this are all unlikable. Every single one of them. Every single one of these people, you can't stand. You can't tell me, all you AEW neckbeards out there, you can't tell me, I love Low Plains Drifter. I think he's fantastic. I love it when he pulls his pants up to his nipples. That means he means business. That means he's hulking up. All 5 feet of him. And Jericho is worn out his welcome. You know, Jericho says he's got a six-pack now.
I'd heard.
He's never going to retire.
It's not his son. They said that he's his nephew, didn't they?
Well, everybody's a nephew in the wrestling business. Everybody's a nephew. Everyone's a nephew.
Anyway, you mentioned this, so this is what I wrote down here. The One-Eyed Bandit comes running down to the ring. He's gonna whip the shit out of Chris Jericho. And that's when this thing, another middle school moment brought to you by Tony Khan. When he got to the ring and he went charging at Jericho, did he hit him? Did he punch him in the face? Did he swing away? He just stood there. He just stood there.
Why not a good kick in the nuts? Hulk's not above that. Why would he just kick him in the nuts?
anything. He just stood there. He called him out. He's not even here tonight. Here he comes. I'm like, all right, maybe they're going to get this kid over. Maybe he's going to jump on Jericho. You knew the other two were going to get involved eventually to beat him down. He just stood there like a schmuck, like an idiot, like a feckless goof, just standing there. Swing at him. Get some action going. What are we doing here?
Who booked the show? A feckless goof he's using extreme wrestling warfare. What was that computer game you could play on your phone or on your computer where you were the booker of a wrestling federation? You remember that?
Yes, I do. My buddy had that game. He was a big fan of it.
I had it too, and I can't remember what the name of it was. It was EWF, I think. You were just a booker. You didn't see actual matches. There were no graphics like a video game. It was all text-based, with a couple columns here and there. But that's what he used to do. In addition to playing with his action figures, when he was, when he discovered women at 25, he probably sold them all or put them in a box somewhere.
They're in a box. He didn't sell shit, pal.
He's
doing that at night now when they go in the ring. Yeah, this is what they're going to do. That's what he uses for the demo dolls. Yes, here's what I want you to do.
Yes. He's got a Britt Baker figure that wrestles his meat puppet at night after the show.
God almighty.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, he stood there. He just stood there and did nothing. So
it's garbage.
Your girl came out next, Little Miss Toni Storm, your favorite wrestler in the world, the one that you can't get away from. And she was facing the money shot, Saraya.
Yes.
Whose
contract is coming up in September.
Yes, and she's all over Twitter, by the way. She's like, I'm the bad girl. I'm the bad one. Look, man, I'm just going to say it. This match showed you why she hasn't been on TV. It showed you why she hasn't been utilized in a top spot. This match was grab ass, no good.
She was trending on Twitter today, and she loved the fact she was trending on Twitter. But it was a car crash last night. A 2-woman car crash. It was horrendous, and she was trending on Twitter for all the wrong reasons. The badness.
CP the trucker.
What's going on, pal?
Just putting in some calls to the plate. We appreciate you, CP. We are here for your entertainment. If you got something you want to say, we'll throw you up later. We appreciate the super chat. Always appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button. As Larry says, hit the ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling. This thing was awful. Toni Storm, Saraya, garbage, hot trash. Nothing about this was good. You had your kissing spots again, and then Mariah May showed up with the shoe. That was the match. That was the whole match.
Sockface said they're doing a tribute to World of Sports, which is
a
wrestling promotion in Great Britain. World of Sports.
That never got over.
Never got over. No. It was all mat-based technical wrestling. And like you said earlier at the beginning of the show, it was a tribute to the Bayley and Becky Lynch sequence of moves that was done 100% better 4 years ago.
Because it was done what?
It was done faster.
Yeah, it was done at speed, like you said.
Regular speed.
This was done at 33 RPMs on your old record player, like you said.
Yes. It was wrestling for opiate users, is what it was last night.
Yo, you're killing me,
look good. Those girls.
Thank you again, Gil. Gil's given to the cause right now. He says Jimmy C strongly agrees for $1.99 in the super chat. He is a big Saraya fan. I'll say that much, and he's a Toni Storm fan, I believe.
There was a lot of waxy material last night.
Oh God, here we go.
Go ahead.
I'm not going down to the gutter tonight with this show. There's too much shit to make fun of, such as the conglomeration. What have they done?
Let's wait till the show's over. We'll go down to the gutter.
What has AEW done to the conglomeration? What have they done? They've made it a grab-ass joke.
What conglomeration? Is that a group now? A new faction?
That's the name. Yeah, the Briscoe group. That's what they call it. It's a conglomeration with Briscoe in it.
Oh, fuck that. Who pays attention to that shit? It's garbage.
I'm just telling you what it's called. That was what was next.
It was a waste of Briscoe. If I had that fucking guy in a wrestling promotion that I owned, he would be on Dynamite every week. He might even be the American champion. He might face MJF for the American belt. Why not? It's a better match than Bruv. Have him take it off of Okada. That move. Jesus Christ.
I like Briscoe, but this was just horrible. They had Paleface Willie back there trying to cut an English promo. That didn't go well. His arm looks like it's going to fall off if you slap him too hard. I genuinely am worried about that guy's health, man.
Who?
Oh, the skinny kid that came back from broke his leg or some shit. Got
Darby Allin?
No, not that guy. The other skinny guy. That his arms really look like he's going to fall off.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyle O'Reilly, yes, thank you.
O'Reilly. Arm fell off.
Off my screen. That's just my 2 cents. I'm worried about the guy. He's a really good guy. Thank you very much, mister, for that. Yes, I was struggling with it. There's so many bad wrestlers I can't keep track anymore. Because here's what really pissed me off last night about the show. The Okada MJF moment.
Oh, this really pissed you off. As opposed to the other 90 minutes of the show.
They've ruined my MJF. They've ruined MJF in every way.
He's done.
They have ruined him. Ospreay was making so many inside English jokes that I just lost count of how many he told. So many English references on American TV. Okay, I get it. It works for the live crowd. No one else is hanging on this. No one else. None of the people are hanging on this. By the way, what does it say on the 8:45 rule there on your segment? What did that get?
8:45 to 9, 7:02. It went up a little bit because it's MJF.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought MJF led this out.
Don, I had to put my closed captioning on when this segment was on because I kept going, what? And my closed captioning looked like an eye chart. I couldn't even read it. I didn't even know what the hell Ospreay was saying.
Whoever was typing it was probably saying the same thing. What? What is this? SHRTT. What the hell did he say?
He put his finger on a button and said, let me know when they say fuck.
They probably did. Yes. I had on the DVR like I said I was going to do because I can't stand half this shit. So when it gets bad, I fast forward.
Right.
I have never fast forwarded MJF promo in my life. I have enjoyed every one of them. This went on for 20 minutes, I swear to God. 20 minutes. It would not end. It would not stop. And then to top it all off, to make it even worse, to put the nail in the final coffin of MJF.
I'm putting the nail in the coffin. Go ahead.
Ospreay said something of the effect of, these people don't love you, and MJF said back, they used to till you showed up.
Weep, 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 weep.
Is this real?
What are you going to do? Marco Mattacoli. I had a plate of that last night for dinner. Back-to-back nights of disasters at the Bottles household. Thunderstorms and Tony Storm. You're right about that, Marco. It ain't easy being me, pal. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the ceiling to come down on me.
Well played, Marco. Well played. I like that. That's funny. Thank you for the super chat. We really appreciate it. Leave that up for a minute. That's a good one.
Signor Mattacoli.
That was good, man. That popped me.
Yes.
This whole thing with MJF did not pop me. It made me a rage monster. This thing sucked. The jealousy, he's jealous that the people, bro, what are we doing here?
I get a phone call from Don. Don says, Bottles, how far along are you in this show? Don, MJF just walked out. Bruv's in the ring. Bottles, it's the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know what I'm going to do with this show. It is horrendous.
No. Not what I said. I said this is the worst thing I've ever seen MJF do in my life.
Bottles, this is the worst thing I've ever seen MJF do in my life. Bottles, you just don't know. Bottles.
And you didn't know.
And I'm hitting the closed captioning trying to figure out what the hell Bruv's saying with those teeth. And he looks like a DoorDash delivery guy. I always say that. He doesn't dress up. He looks like shit. MJF came out looking like he looked like a cross between Captain America and Wolverine, walking down the ramp to the ring. He looked like a star. or a ringmaster at Ringling Brothers Circus. One or the other. He did look like a Sardine.
I will say this. MJF was dressed in the nines. He had all the red, white, and blue. He looked the part of a heel in Britain. I thought he looked the part great. Here was my issue. They went back and forth, 4, 5, or 6 times in this segment? Like, it wasn't like, usually when you get a good promo, the heel says some shit, the face says some shit, the heel says it back, the face says something, and off you go, right? This was back and forth and back and forth and back. Somebody do something.
What about when MJF made fun of the fact that he was doing stupid shit like the kangaroo kick for the people when he was a good guy?
Yes.
He does it every match now.
He does.
He still does the kangaroo kick.
Again, it didn't make any sense. The commentator said they could not make contact with each other or they would be fined. That's what Ospreay says. Okay, well, how much am I going to get fined? And, of course, Tony Schiavone has Tony Khan on the horn immediately. He's right here with me. He's talking to me now. It's $100,000. So you know where this is going.
Well, MJF, to start that off, MJF insinuated that he talked to Ospreay's wife backstage and said that the next kid you have just might not be yours either.
Yeah.
Because he is raising the autistic son that his wife had with her first boyfriend or husband. And that was commendable for him to do that.
That was the best line that was delivered this entire promo, by the way. That was real heat.
Yes.
So he tells him $100,000. Of course, you know what Ospreay says. Worth every penny, bruv. Turns around. They start fighting. MJF gets the ring on, whacks the shit out of him. That was the end of the segment. Away we go. He tries to give him the Tiger Driver 91. Everybody comes in and stops it. On to the next backstage promo, where we get the Best Brands version of Brian Pillman, who beat up a Domino's delivery driver. That's the best way I could write this down. That was it. That was the whole thing. And what I call him the Best Brand Brian Pillman, who am I talking about?
You're talking about Hangman Adam Page.
I am talking about Hangman Adam Page. And who is the Domino's driver?
That would be Evil Uno.
Who
because
we
he's
haven't
also
seen.
named after a pizza restaurant.
Yes.
Uno's.
Who we haven't seen in months and months. And he's suddenly in this tournament or this Battle Royal.
Battle Royal. He's in that. The Casino Battle Royal or whatever it's called. Evil Uno got his ass beat down. One shot in the ribs or whatever it was with a steel chair.
Right down.
That fat bastard is down like a sack of potatoes.
He's dead. What's
dead. Killed him.
This had to be the 9:15 hour by now, right? What was the 9 o'clock number and what was the 9:15 number?
Well, 9 to 9:15 was the end of the MJF angle and the Uno Page promo. And that was a 701. They only lost 1,000.
So they held it. Yeah, so it's MJF, so they held it.
Yes.
But if they keep doing shit like that, they're not going to hold it for long. Again, I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. We appreciate your support. Without you guys, we couldn't do this. We are a grassroots effort. It's a Squared Circle Maniacs podcast. Like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button, the ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling. We appreciate it. When you hit that like button, it does more than just give us a thumbs up. It helps our algorithm on the actual YouTube page. So thank you for that.
Up next, slow walk, Don. You didn't say the slow walk to 1,000.
We are on the slow walk to 1,000. I think we're at 942 right now.
And we've got more viewers than we have subscribers, which is it's actually a good thing to have on this platform. But we like to get to over the hump, over 1,000. We're just trying. We're trying. We're just people. We're just people, Don. We're just average men.
Everyday people.
Hateful everyday people. That's what we are.
This next match got me excited. It really did. Because we got Captain Charisma against Channel 12's Weatherman. That's right. Claudio Castagnoli versus Okada. You figure out which one is which. If there is one thing Claudio has, it is not charisma. Whew. I wrote this down. No notes unless it matters. There's lots of commercials. Captain Charisma's in the ring. This is a 20-minute draw. Here come the Bucks. Fuck the rest of this show.
Tell me what you told me last night on the phone about Cesaro Castagnoli. Cesaro Cannolis. What'd you tell me about him?
I said a lot last night and a lot of heated
You
debate.
said, how can a guy who's that great of a wrestler in the ring, everything he does is smooth and precise.
Yes.
Every single goddamn move is fantastic. But he's got the charisma of, I forgot what you said, I'll say, a 2x4.
A cactus.
That 2x4 that Hacksaw Jim Duggan would walk to the ring with has more charisma than Cesaro Cannoli.
He does everything great, but his facials and the way he acts it doesn't come through to me. It doesn't work. There's
Doesn't play
nothing
to the
in
crowd.
it.
Doesn't play to the crowd. I don't get it. I don't get it. And Okada, a man who will not lift a weight. He does as little as possible in the ring. He's got the facials for a guy who, you've got to have a app on your phone to understand what he's saying. Go ahead, Don.
I want to know what you thought of this. I couldn't stand it, man. It went on, and
it was
he did the
match.
big swing.
It was pointless. It was a pointless match. They're having a match to see if he can have a match at Wembley. Why not just have the match at Wembley? These championship eliminator matches, fuck that. Just get rid of it. It's garbage. Just this guy's going to fight this guy because of his win-loss record. Oh, wins and losses don't matter anymore. They don't have the standings anymore, Don. Remember the standings were hot for a while there?
Brought them back, and then they're gone again.
Yes. They got flushed down the shitter. The golden con shitter.
Well, let's
just have the match. They could have gotten this whole thing with a brawl in the back. Run back that shitty interview from last Wednesday between Okada and Cesaro and have a big brawl in the back. Have the Blackpool Combat Club come out and the Young Bucks and all those guys come out. Have a big schmoz. Get the security guards in there. Have Renee Young fall over on the ground because of Okada. Beef it up a little bit. You don't even have to have a match for this shit. And speaking of the Blackpool Combat Club, where's John Moxley been for the last 3 weeks? 4 weeks?
He's off. He's off on vacation, finally.
For a whole month?
Yeah, he's gone for a while. You probably won't see him again. You might not see him again for a while, from what I understand, what I've read. Denisha, Dot and Bottles. Soraya's contract is up. She lost no match all in. Hope she leaves with her boy Ricky Starks, who's going to WWE. She's excited for him. Denisha, I know you are a big Saraya fan, and I get that. I totally get that. You've been with her for a long time. You've talked about her here openly. Here's my issue. It's nothing against her. For her own health, she should never enter another wrestling ring and do anything again. And I don't know that she has the capability to not have that in her DNA, to not get in a ring and try to wrestle. She can still cut a promo when she's given the opportunity. But the problem is she's not being given the opportunity. It's just she wants to get in the ring, or she's being told to get in the ring and just have a match. Now, as for Ricky Starks, we're going to talk about it a little bit, but you mentioned it now, so we'll go ahead and get into it. Ricky Starks is apparently headed for WWE. His contract has expired. That has now officially been made public. The rumors out there that he's already signed with them, and we're going to see him in NXT here in the very near future. Now, I hear a lot of people saying he doesn't need to go to NXT. Folks, that guy needs to go to NXT to get all of that indie bullshit out of his bloodstream. That's the issue. He's got an indie mindset of his wrestling. They're going to teach him how to work a different style, a safer style for him and his opponent. They're going to work with him on his promos because he can cut a good promo, but they're going to work with him on that.
Right.
But yes, thank you, Denisha, again for the $4.99 super chat.
Thank you.
We always appreciate it. Pablo, the real one. Do you guys think that the MJF promo was purposely done to get the jealousy angle over?
I think you're thinking a little too much about it. You're thinking a little too hard about it, Pablo.
No, I think he's right. No, I think that's why I'm saying it's a seventh grade mentality in a booking way. They are doing this to show that he's jealous of Ospreay's fandom. He's jealous of his popularity. But
that's
again,
a great point.
That makes no sense. Why the hell would he have attacked the other dude? The guy, Daniel
Garcia.
The dancing goof.
Daniel Garcia.
Yes. Why would he attack him
and
and not go after Ospreay?
Still hasn't signed. Don't know where he's going.
Allegedly, I still have no doubt in my mind that he's at AEW. This is all it's a bunch of bullshit. But yeah, no problem. I think that's exactly what it was. They were trying to do a jealousy angle, but it came off in a shit way. It was horrible. When you think of a jealousy angle, there's a few guys that I can think of, right? There's a few errors that I can think of. The one that comes to mind most, and I'm not trying to praise him. I know Hulk Hogan said some dumb shit recently. I'm not going to go down that angle, right? I'm not going to do that. But the most jealous angle that I remember in my life is the Macho Man looking at Hogan and saying, "I see jealousy in your eyes, Hogan." That was a jealousy angle. It was over a woman. No wrestler has ever been, that I can remember ever rooting for or openly enjoying, was like, "I'm jealous because the people like you more than me. I'm going home because I'm a bitch." Never have I seen that. And that's how MJF came off last night. Just a pompous bitch, and not in a good way. Not a cowardly heel. It was terrible. It's not his fault. This is what they wanted, and I didn't like it. I did not like that at all. I appreciate you guys for putting this in tonight, because I do not want to talk about the Young Bucks in any way, shape, or form. Any thoughts on that?
Why would they have a match of Darby Allin and FTR versus the Young Bucks and Jack Perry? Why would they do that and run the risk of somebody getting hurt?
How many times have we said that?
All the
How
time.
many times have we said that?
All the time.
Don't put out your big stars on a throwaway match that means nothing. Something could go terribly wrong. I mean, it really could. Look what happened to Rhea Ripley on an angle. Right?
Yes. Just being thrown into a locker? She got pushed into a locker and dislocated her shoulder.
What was her? It was the backstage wall.
Backstage wall. She dislocated that joint, the ACV joint in your shoulder. Apple cider vinegar joint.
The hell did you just say?
The ACV joint. Apple cider vinegar. We do a shot of apple cider vinegar every morning.
Stop.
Then I go out to my car and
I will
sit
get
in a
Captain
90-degree
fucking No Legs in here.
Who's Captain? The Shinless Wonder?
That's the one.
Yes, Cotton Hill. He's got his own channel.
This trios match for the FTR match had everything you thought it would. It was FTR and Darby Allin versus the Young Bucks and Jack Golf Perry. And it went exactly like you thought it was. And I wrote that down. It's a typical Bucks match. Everybody's in the ring doing a bunch of shit all over the place. The ref has no control. This is already out of hand. I don't give a shit. Get to the end. FTR wins. Thank God. I'm going home.
Hardly any selling whatsoever. One of these days in these FTR matches, I like to see FTR gun pull out a 38 snub nose and just pop somebody in the leg. Just kneecap them. I love to see that. FTR bald and FTR gun. Or FTR ball could just take some Wesson oil and grease his head up and blind somebody.
I don't give
with
a shit.
Spotlight coming off his melon. What's that? I'm just trying to make some kind of frivolity about this. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's garbage. And the ratings, the ratings bore that out. That it's garbage.
Let me ask you something. Have FTR used to be a fun team to watch, correct?
Yes. Old school team.
Used to really enjoy watching them, correct?
Sure.
Have they ever meant less than they do right now in this company that they love so much?
And they even teased on Twitter that they might just retire if they win the belts. They might just retire.
I don't understand.
Which makes no sense. I don't understand why you would retire if you win the belts.
Let's not rehash.
They only wanted to work one day a week, Don. They only wanted to work one day a week.
Saturday.
Well,
Saturday.
They wanted to work one day a week for that exorbitant amount of money, and they jumped on it. And who could blame them? Just to work one day a week. Who could blame anybody to work for this company? They don't do house shows. They just do TV tapings. There are no house shows at all.
They go backstage, back to AEW. They go backstage and...
Well, you left out.
I don't think I did.
The best wrestler on the planet
Oh,
his
yeah,
buddy,
they came out.
the Scissor
God.
King. Those two
I think I might
schmucks
have been
came out.
pissing.
And Billy Gunn stood up at the top of the ramp like, God damn, I'm getting paid well for ruining my career. Just looking around.
Pablo says the Bucks and Meltzer influence is ruining the company.
Shadow Booker, Dave Meltzer. You can't tell me he's not giving Tony Khan tips.
Oh, I
tips.
absolutely believe he is.
Absolutely.
I don't know how much his influence is now, but in the beginning, I think he was really had his ear. I don't know if it's that much now, but he's right. I mean, the Bucks. Did you hear that the Bucks supposedly most of their dates are used up now, which is why they haven't been on TV, and Tony Khan's not willing to pay them for any more special dates because of their contract?
They know exactly what they're doing, dude. They work them all so they can have most of the summer off and have the rest of the year off or what have you, and spend time with their families around the holidays. They know exactly what they were doing. Tony Khan's a mark and fell for it, and they've got him wrapped around their finger, and that's why the company is in the state of disrepair that it's in.
Pablo's right on it. By the way, I love Built for Cuban Links. I thought that was a great record, great album. I had it back in the day. Or Only Built for Cuban Links, I believe was the name of it. Forgive me, I'm a little old. My memory, I've had a lot of records and CDs and tapes in my life. Great Wu-Tang Clan record. One of the best they ever put out. That's album cover. Appreciate you, Pablo. Thank you very much for the super chat. Like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling. We're going the march to 1,000. Just like Daniel Bryanson or Brian Danielson, or whatever the fuck his name is right now, came out and talked to Ocean Spray and said, do the move. Relating to the Tiger Driver 3,291.
I like to say this was not on my TV because I had it recorded on Hulu Live and it cut off. Cut off right in the middle of Swerve Strickland talking.
Well, then we can end that shit then. He talked. Brian came out, threw him out of the ring. They had a thing. Brian talked. He's mad. He's motivated. Yada, yada, yada. I'm going to win the title.
Best wrestler in the world.
According to everybody that's marking him. I can't even begin to get into this. I can't. Look. There are people that are diehard Bryan Danielson fans, and I get it. They like the guy. They think he's relatable. I can understand that. I am never going to have that same affection for him. I'm just not. Because I grew up with a whole different era of stars. It was way different. They were bigger. They were meaner. They actually cut promos that scared the shit out of you. The best work he ever did, in my opinion, was still when he was working with Kane at the end of his run. I thought that was the best work he ever did. And then when he got another heater and he went gluten-free and all the bullshit in WWE. WWE was trash back then. Yes. But when he went free hugger mode and had he had a heater with him. What are the was it Braun he had or the other guy? I can't remember who he had. He had a heater next to him.
I forget. He had a wooden championship belt because it was green.
Because it was green. That shit was amazing. As much as I don't like him, those were the two best runs he ever had. He let
it slip out that he had a compostable toilet in his house. I'm going to say that to you again. A compostable toilet is how
Explain to the
defecated.
People what that is. Explain to the people what that is. They might not know.
That was a honeypot, Don, as they say, back in the backwoods, where you would just go and pee, and it would be in your toilet. And it would go like into a tank, and you would put leaves and things like that to rot on top of. You put your garbage in there to rot on top of your feces.
Pablo just cracked me up. He's giving us enough super. That's so going up on the board.
So what you do is you don't go to Bryan Danielson's house for Thanksgiving dinner.
No, I'm not taking a deuce in there.
That was
Pablo said. So Danielson got beat by Ocean Spray, and now he's giving him advice. What the?
It makes no sense. You can't make any sense out of this show. You cannot make any sense out of this whatsoever. The only thing you can actually count on is Britt Baker hates Mercedes Moné and vice versa, and somebody's going to get cracked over the head. Don't know who. Somebody's getting their bell rung in that match. That's the only thing you can count on. That's it. That's all you can.
Do you want to know what? To piggyback on what Pablo said, the booking is so bad. This is where it gets even crazier on the other end of this.
Mm-hmm.
Bryan Danielson got beat by Ocean Spray, and he's got a world title shot. Ocean Spray beat Daniel Bryanson, and he's trying to get the American title back. What the shit? You can't make this shit up.
It's how do you
Eric Rowan, thank you, Chris.
Eric Rowan, that's right. He was a vintner. They said he was a vintner. Eric Rowan. I don't understand any of this bullshit. It just boggles my freaking mind. Don, by the way,
close out those ratings.
At the Cesaro Cannoli match against Okada, you were at 706. And at the very end of the show,
they held on to that 700 area. And then the Bucks came out, and what happened?
It's 564 at the end of the show, Don.
Shut the fuck up.
No, 564. They had enough. They had enough of the Scissor Me Timbers. They had enough of the best wrestler on the planet, Max Caster. They had enough of the Young Bucks. They had enough of Daisy Duke, Darby Allin. They had enough of FTR, Bald and Gunn. Maybe if you just had Bald, maybe he would have kept it. Maybe Gunn. You just had Gunn in the ring. He could have kept an audience. Who knows? And Jungle Boy, of course, is a ratings killer. He's ratings cholera. He just kills it right away.
But he's got a cool new belt, at least.
That he made in his backyard.
Does that thing not look like Fido's ass shaved backwards?
Shaved backwards.
It's just the worst.
Come here, Bubba. Let's take a look. The Wonder Dog said no. He's enjoying licking his balls in the corner of the room right now.
Do me a favor. Give me the 9:30, 9:45, and 10 o'clock hours and who was on the screen.
683 was the post-match with the Bucks, Darby Allin and FTR versus the Bucks and Jungle Boy. And then the post-match with Scissor Me Timbers, that crew, went to 619.
They're getting the hell out.
At the Swerve, as you say, Daniel Bryanson, the Daniel Bryanson promo with Strick Swerveland, that went down to 564.
They have killed all the momentum Swerve had. They have killed it. And the lead-in didn't help one damn bit.
Not one damn bit.
A year ago, Swerve was breaking into houses and terrorizing babies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now he's cowering in front of an English crowd. What the hell happened?
Well, they sort of had to make him the champ, and then Tony said, I got these other shiny new toys. I've got Will Ospreay. I've got MJF back. Those guys could be the champ. What am I going to do with this black guy? You know, Tony, the rumor is, Don,
I'm not going down that road.
We say it every week.
I'm not going down that road.
I won't say it, Don. All I can say is if Swerve Strickland moved into Tony Khan's neighborhood, Tony Khan would sell his house.
Stop!
I'm just throwing it out there right now. I'm throwing it out there. That's what would happen. I think Swerve Strickland, I like to go on record say he's a great wrestler. I don't like the grills, but he's a great wrestler. He cuts good promos now, and I don't understand the use of the black eyeshadow around his eyes, but maybe he likes that sort of thing. It's
gotten more pronounced. You know what I mean? It used to not be that pronounced, and that's why it sort of worked. Now he's gone full-on purple smear campaign. I don't get it.
Slathering on. He looks like the black Shayna Baszler when he comes out.
I'm looking for him on corners sometimes, like hooking. I'm like, what? Was that him? It's a she.
You can't keep Anthony Bowens away from him. That's an inside joke, folks.
I want to talk about something else here real quick before we go.
What do you got, Don?
I got a couple of news tidbits. Ricochet has officially signed with AEW on a multi-year deal. This
According
is
to
done.
Fightful Select.
I told you.
Fightful Select.
I hear you. I told you he was going. He's going. I know you don't want to hear it, but he was going.
I could care less about Ricochet, to tell you the truth.
All right. Well, you said you thought you were saying him. By the way, they wrote him off TV in a grand style. I'll give him that much. Like, they gave him a hospital angle, and they meant that shit. They weren't bringing him back. They said, go home. We'll do it. You do what you got to do. Ricochet has got a movement skill set that I cannot deny. He can do all the modern, crazy shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
The chat's out of control again.
The chat's doing their own show.
Oh, my goodness.
Folks, if you don't like what we say, you don't like our content, just come for the chat. The chat is, we got one of the best chat rooms on YouTube.
And it's all jokes and it's all a good fun. If you can't take jokes, then don't come in there because you'll be like, oh my God, where's my pearls to clutch?
Have you heard what Meltzer said?
Hold on, though. He's supposedly signed a multi-year deal, is what they're saying.
Of course.
We're
Tony
talking
Khan probably said
3 years.
I need another 190-pound, 5'10" guy. I need another one who could do flippy floppy shit.
I'm bored with my new Sub-Zero guy. I need another.
Yes, we need another guy. I'm bored with Darby Allin.
I have grown tired with my Mexican. Bring me another.
Hologram is out. Hologram, what's this say on Twitter? Hologram is not trending anymore. Bring me Ricochet. Bring me Trevor Mann. That's his real name. He might be coming in as Trevor Mann if he sold the rights to Ricochet to the WWE. He might be just doing it for a year and then go back to WWE where his girlfriend is. If that chick leaves WWE as a ring announcer,
not a chance in hell.
A lot of people
would
be pissed off.
Not a chance in hell. I saw that today. Somebody was joking about it. I thought he was serious on Twitter. He said, well, now she's got great leverage to put WWE over the barrel when her time's up. Samantha, was it Irving? Samantha Irving?
Samantha Irving.
Sorry. She ain't going nowhere. She is a star in this company. She is beloved by everybody that works with her. She's beloved by the wrestlers, the fans. Everyone likes her reactions. Right. She doesn't want to know how the show's going to go. She's actually entertained every night by what she sees. And when they hit that music, they point to her and she's got it down. I give my girl credit. She is a star in that role. I love watching her.
When CM Punk walks out, when he makes his way around the ring, he goes over to her right away and shakes hands with her or gives her a hug. He makes a point to do that every single time.
Yes.
Sherry, hit the switch.
The magic windows.
The magic windows. The lights are out. The lights are still on here, Don, even though there's a hurricane. Lights are still on,
My hair
Don.
is a mess. I got to see my girl next week to get my shit straight.
You look dreamy. Let's go. Let's keep going. I heard that Ricochet, they're going to change his name to Daniel Bryanson. He's going to tag team with Bryan Danielson.
When you've got so many sons in your name, son, I give up. You're the Dragon son. You're the Daniel Bryan son. You're Daniel's son. You're Mr. Miyagi's son. I'm done with this shit, son.
They're going to call him the American Puma. Daniel Bryanson.
Meow, bitch.
Meltzer has said, we've heard talk of Darby Allin getting a run as AEW champion no matter who wins at Wembley. And Meltzer also said, like he always does, we know that's been talked about seriously, but as to when, that's less clear. I could do this. We could put this. We could do this. Put these news tidbits out. Have you heard that WWE is Tony Khan's accusing WWE of inflating wrestler prices?
Here we go with this shit. Yes, I saw this.
Come on, man. Come on. This is why people hate AEW and Tony Khan. Because he's a pussy. Do you see Triple H saying, oh, they're paying these guys too much money? Who can compete? Who can compete when you overpay people what they're worth? Who can compete? He's trying to bury the WWE. He's trying to put us out of business. Does Triple H say that? He could care less. Like Devon Dudley said and Mark Henry said, Triple H and the WWE do not even think about AEW the way Tony Khan thinks about WWE. Pablo, the real one, says AEW equals flippy guys on top while we bury our stars. Yes, indeedy, pal. It's the that's why Lance Archer and Wardlow, who, and all the big guys in AEW flounder in the land of the little men. The land of the little people.
Pablo's on fire tonight with the chat. I appreciate
Somebody pissed Pablo off. Pablo, who pissed you off today?
Son. He's only built for Cuban links. He ain't got time for this shit. He's getting down to business tonight. What else you got for me, Johnny Bottles? Because I got one for you in a minute.
I got the Costco guys are the latest. The
Costco
guys are.
God, are you really doing this?
The Costco guys are coming all out. Have you heard?
Okay.
I can't wait to see the Costco guys.
Have you seen this?
Can you tell me who the Costco guys are? I don't know.
I have no idea who they are. They appeared on my timeline about a week ago with everybody shitting on them. It is the cringiest shit you've ever seen in your life. It's this dad and his family. I'm throwing this one up too. He's been on fire.
He took an Adderall. God damn, Pablo. Settle down, Pablo. Good Lord. Do a shot of Jack. Calm yourself down.
Giving Denisha a little time too, because she's been a super chat member. TK was tampering with Ricochet, talking him out of the. Well, that's what everybody's saying, right? That's what they're saying, Denisha.
Of course.
That's what they're. That's what the streets is saying.
The streets are saying that Pentagon Jr. and what's his name, Ray Fenix, they're tampering with their WWE's tampering with their contracts too, allegedly. So they say. Have you heard what Conan said about those two guys?
Hold on, I want to finish your spot on the Costco people. This Costco family. No, I need to tell you how
Who
cringy
the F are they?
is.
Who the hell are they?
It
looks like a guy. It looks like a guy and a little boy that he's waiting to walk into his shed with. That's what it looks like.
You're going to hell.
It looks horrible.
This is what they're known for. This jackwagon gets his family to stand around and do awful TikTok commercials or videos, and they say shit like, of course, we're a Costco family. Of course we buy in bulk. And they show up. It's just the dumbest shit. We're a Costco family. Of course we go get all the free treats. We're a Costco family. Of course we hide in the shed. It's the worst shit ever. It's awful.
We're a Costco family. How many $1.50 hot dogs can I hide in my gluteal cleft?
I'm telling you, it's the worst shit ever. All right, on to your next beat. I like you, Booker, man.
I forgot what the hell I was going to say.
I fucking told that motherfucker.
What the hell? What were we talking about before the Costco family?
You were going somewhere with Tony Khan and meat puppets, I think. You had your story up.
Don, I've got a lot of thoughts flying around my head every minute of the day.
You've been hanging out with Pablo, taking Adderall?
I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I wonder if they had to make a special coffin for Yokozuna, or did they just cremate the fat bastard when he died? I just don't know. I think about things like that. Rich Swann from TNA, formerly WWE. Rich Swann. Have you heard about Rich Swann?
Please continue.
The chat that shows off the rails alongside the chat. We're all headed down the highway to hell. On fire. I'm riding the lightning, Don. Rich Swann's been suspended by TNA after he was arrested in June. TNA Wrestling takes any and all charges against the performers seriously. Rich Swann is responsible for his own personal actions. He's informed TNA Wrestling that he's voluntarily entering into a substance abuse rehabilitation program. TNA Wrestling suspended Rich pending the completion of investigation of the incidents. Basically, what he did was he got all tanked up at his apartment complex and got into a brawl, and the cops had to go and take him away. He got fired from the WWE because he assaulted his wife at the time, who was Sue Young from TNA Wrestling. She was on Impact, and he was in the WWE in the Cruiserweight division. So he blew that shot. Now it looks like he's going to blow the shot with the TNA. With the TNA, Don, as the old people say, the TNA. At the TNA.
It's going down at the apartment complex, a.k.a. the Hood.
Apartment wrestling. Somebody probably didn't pay him off. They locked him up. He was wearing a thong and about 5 bottles of baby oil and Jergens.
I had that bitch in the Scorpion Deathlock, and they came in the door.
Block Larry said, Conan.
No.
I remember now what I was going to say.
There you go.
That Tony Khan said that he was thinking about adding more time onto Ray Fenix's contract for injury time.
We've talked about that before, though.
Penta said he's not going to NXT. He wants to go right to the main roster. NXT's a no-go. Conan said on his latest podcast that that's a lie. He talks to those guys all the time. They're good friends of his, and they want to go to the WWE. They'll go to NXT if they have to. They don't care. As long as they're in the company, in the fold. In the fold, if you will.
Okay, I got to throw this up. Gil's giving us some money tonight. I'm going to throw this up. The chat has gone into... The chat has got like 5 different conversations going on. The Costco discussion, Gil has now given us a breakdown of the wages and the pay. Larry's gone off the rails. Denisha's agreeing with Gil. This is great. You guys are cracking me up. I'm loving this tonight. Thank you so much. This shit is going wild.
Hang on.
I didn't have this on my bingo card. Are
Yeah,
you applying to
911. I like to
Costco?
send a squad car to an internet chat. Can I do that?
Ridiculous.
Internet chat.
Right now.
YouTube. It's a chat room. We're the Squirt Circle Maniacs. You've been looking for us?
Hang up.
Let's get back to it. House of Black has been accused of being
yes,
troublemakers
did you
in
see
AEW.
this?
Yes.
House of
Accused
Black
being
are being
troublemakers.
They're troublemakers, those guys.
Our friends over at Ringside News, can't really say they're friends because we've never met them. They're undoubtedly one of the top factions in all of AEW right now. Who wrote this? I'll read it verbatim. The House of Black is undoubtedly one of the top factions in all of AEW right now, and they have achieved some success in the company. However, it appears they've been accused of being troublemakers at AEW. For the past few months, the contractual status of Buddy Matthews and Malachi Black made people wonder whether they would end up leaving AEW. However, Matthews signed a new contract with AEW in February of this year, and Black signed a new deal as well. While speaking on Keeping It 100, Disco Inferno talked about Buddy Murphy's recent re-signing, noting that it seems unusual given the reported difficulties he and the House of Black have caused backstage. Inferno claimed that the House of Black are a pain to deal with backstage, constantly turning down creative issues.
Yeah.
Disco expressed curiosity, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Their problem, they're trying to get out of. If they are this big of a problem, they want to go home. By the way, Mike Digital, thank you so much for all your contributions to the show. Your thumbnails are appreciated. Throwing this up there because it popped me.
We got to run in by Mike Digital.
Show.
We got to run in by Mike Digital. The great Mike Digital. Mike Digital, by the way, did the theme song for the show. That little opening bit and actually that song gets better. It's like 4 minutes long, I believe. And actually, he's shredding in that song. He's shredding.
If you like tunes with no lyrics, just good old jams, Mike Digital's your guy. He says, I'm just over here stoned and alone eating a party-sized box of Cheez-Its.
If you like to eat a party-sized box of Cheez-Its and wash it down with a 32-ounce Old English 800 and smoke a doob and watch YouTube videos of abandoned insane asylums, you'll love Mike Digital's channel. Check it out.
Some crazy shit.
Great stuff. Great music. Mike Digital. He's in the chat. D-I-J-I-T-A-L. Check him out on YouTube.
And on Twitter. Also known as X.
Yes. Would you like to see the Harley, Cameron, and Mariah May video? They're going to Mardi Gras, don't you know?
What is this? I haven't heard of this or seen it. Is this real or are you messing with me?
This is real. If anybody's got Jimmy C81's number, tell him to call him up, tell him to turn on the show. That's all I can say. Tell him.
Well, hit the button, pal.
All right, pal. Here we go.
Yeah. Everybody dance now. Let's go. Oh. Let's go.
I'm stopping that for a second because I don't want to get a copyright strike because of that music.
Even though
it's not the original artist. So
it is not the original artist, but you're correct.
Make it hot. Come on. Let's go.
I ain't seen that shit.
Hey now. Hey now. Hey now. And Don, the last thing I've got, Bleacher Report ranks the top 25 WWE theme songs of all time. We're just going to do the top 10.
That'll work.
Okay, number 10, Triple H. Time to play the game.
All right, well, that was done by a major artist. I'm not going to diss that. That's great.
Motorhead did that. Number 9, another song done by a major artist, CM Punk's Cult of Personality.
Oh, dude, how is that not one?
Because the two guys who have the top, they deserve it. Bret Hart. That
great song. It's iconic.
Completely iconic.
Yes.
Here's one that I disagree with, Don. It shouldn't be higher than CM Punk or Triple H. Batista, number 7.
No.
And you know what amazes me is Hogan was number 11.
Really?
Hogan was number 11.
Again,
Real American.
right now.
Real American.
He's being a dumbass, but his song is still great.
Number 6, The Rock.
No, I'm sorry. His music is not great. I'm sorry.
Number 5, Edge. Shouldn't even be in the top 10.
Nope. I like that song. I dig that.
Okay.
Denisha
Number
says
4.
Dot and Bottles. I don't think House of Black. I don't think Want to Be There. They don't. TK is
He
holding
just
them
signed a
hostage,
contract in February.
and they're trying to get out. I think they signed. No. I remember blowing my yard 2 years ago. They were saying that he just re-signed the contract.
You were
and
doing
it was a
what?
3-year deal.
What'd you say?
Working in the yard, blowing the leaves. This isn't 3rd Avenue at night. This isn't hookers on the point. I'm working
Blowing
on
your
the
yard. I thought that was like a prison term. I didn't know.
What color's the loofah on your antenna? Can I ask that again?
Purple. With a little speckle of brown.
I like Edge's song. I dig that song. I got no hate for that. I can respect that.
Let's go back to the House of Black. Buddy Matthews just signed a contract in February.
He
had to be
did.
money
He
he could not
did
tur-
re-up. I thought you were talking about
Yes.
the actual is it Alistair, the leader of the group?
Malachi Black. He's Malachi Black.
Onyx Black. that
Here.
guy.
Yes. That guy wants to go
He
back
signed
to WWE
years
so
ago.
bad because his wife, Zelina Vega, he's married to Zelina Vega in WWE. He wants to go back and be with her, of course. And he signed for a multi-year deal, so he's screwed. Now, Buddy Matthews, I can't understand why he wouldn't want to go and be with Rhea Ripley, his wife, now.
I agree with that 100%.
In WWE. Yeah, I mean, I guess the money must be too good at AEW. Maybe Triple H wasn't going to pay him the amount of money that he's making in AEW. What's his worth? Buddy Matthews, what's he done? Really hasn't done hardly anything. Tag team champion NXT. That was it. But
Go back
anyway,
to your
Randy
numbers.
Savage, number 4. Chris Jericho, number 3.
Hold on. Do not run by Randy Savage. Number 4.
Pomp and Circumstance.
Pomp and Circumstance. That's I got no problem with that. Chris Jericho, however, that's trash. I'm sorry. Get the hell out of here. That's not happening.
A man that deserves number 2. The Undertaker.
Yes, I was going to say, if the Undertaker's not in the top 2, we have a problem. But hold up before you finish. It's got to be one person and one person only at number 1.
And you know exactly who that is.
It better be.
You know exactly who that is, and I'll tell you right now.
Ric Flair.
No, not Ric Flair at all. Ric Flair's number 18.
Who booked this
Eugene,
shit?
number 1. Eugene.
No, stop.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, number 1.
No, that's not the greatest theme song ever. It's iconic, and I get that because it was when you hear the glass, that's your ass. I get that. But Ric Flair's not one.
Pal, this is Bleacher
shitting me?
Report. This is Bleacher Report.
How far is that guy's head up his partner's ass?
Funny you should say. I'll show you right now.
Oh my God, you're going to do this. Why are you showing this? All right, that's enough. We're all worse off. We're all worse.
It's wet.
I give this
It's
one splatter and a bottle of Jergens.
She said it's wet. That was Micro Wrestling All-Stars, by the way.
Oh my God! Why would you
It's
show
wet.
that in purpose?
It's wet. It's wet, she said. And she enjoyed it. Oh, God. Johnny Figures would have liked it. Yes. Johnny Figures would have enjoyed that. Did we cover everything?
I've
Did we
got one
cover,
more for you.
Bully Ray going after WWE Real One Online.
No, I'm not doing that guy. No, I'm not giving that guy credit. I don't even mention his name. I'm pissed you said his name. I got one that you didn't cover.
What's that?
John Cena's contract. Did you hear about this? John Cena was specifically asked about his contract, and he said he did, in fact, sign a very long extension. It's one of those deals, if I had to guess, it's probably one of those lifetime contracts where when I work, I get paid. Yeah, well, I don't think it's a Legends deal. No. It's one of those, when I work, I get paid this amount, and there's no question about it. I get paid a percentage of the house gate or whatever it is that they decide to go off.
Right.
Because he's that big of a star like The Rock. Yeah.
He's going to be in the Hall of Fame next year. It's tailor-made for the Hall of Fame.
I think it'll be a little bit longer than that. I don't think it'll be right away. Oh, shit. You know what? I want to thank everybody again for joining us tonight. You guys have been great.
Yes.
It's been one of our, it's been a fun show. Bottles has had some challenges.
With the Storm. Not Lance Storm. And not Tony Storm either.
But I want to thank everybody for... Jesus. Thank you all for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button.
Ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling.
There was one other story I wanted to talk about before we go, though. Nope, I lied.
Till next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.